Residents of Giyani in Limpopo took to the streets yesterday in protest against drying taps. They are also demanding answers to a 3 billion rand promised project that is yet to be completed 14 years later. Joining us now to tell us more about their demands is Vusi Chauke, the chairperson of the Giyani concerned residents. So Chauke, good evening and thank you very much for your time and for joining us tonight here on In Focus. The Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mkhunu, speaking to my colleague earlier on, says that the promise that they made that this project would be completed, they meant it. They meant that it would be completed. As far as the work that they've done in marshalling the contractors, in marshalling implementation agents, they've succeeded in doing that. Those people are on the ground. But here's an unforeseen challenge that they met. They say Chief Ramoba in the last couple of days raised concerns about residents who have been removed in the area in which this project is currently being conducted. What is your knowledge of that challenge?
Good evening, sir. It's true that the guys are on site. We've seen them running around, digging holes and backfilling all the stuff. But then you must understand that I'm sure now we are here because of the strike that happened yesterday. The reason of the strike that happened yesterday is because the minister himself came to and promised the people of Guyana that there will be water running by the end of September. And in that meeting, he also said everything is done. Chief Ramuva, everything, whatever the hiccups that they had has been sorted. So everything is go. During that time, we tried to engage with the stakeholder in Giyani Mopani district because we realized that the project or the water won't reach Giyani at that time, or in the end of September. So we tried that and then it didn't bear any fruits. So that's why we took our grievances to the street.
So he says, as we speak, the work that they're doing, they're literally 4 kilometers away before water reaches the Insani Dam, then from there to the waterworks, to the reservoirs, and then to the villages. So saying we are literally 4 kilometers away, I mean, is that your understanding as well of where the process is? And are you losing patience with the process being that close to completion?
Yeah, that's what they said. It's almost 4 kilometers to completion, whereby the water will be discharged into the canal, which takes water to the dam to the package plant here in Giyani. But then you should remember something and understand something. The raw water that is talking about coming from Nandoni, it doesn't mean much to us as the people of Giyani. We understand the effort, but then now we are talking about clean water that we need to use. We're talking about drinking good water, and which we have been waiting for many years, more than 20 years, waiting for water. And the project that we're talking about, it's been almost 14 years. It's been under construction, starting from 2008. So you can understand the time frame whereby 14 years later, we still don't have water. And the latest statement, which he promised the people that there will be water. Remember, the raw water which will be deposited, it will go to the same package plant which we are using to date. And it won't change the amount of water being produced in a daily basis. So basically that, it's just adding water into the dam, but in the same amount of water which we are receiving from our package plant is still the same. So you must understand those dynamics that the people of Guyana are still waiting for that. At least we understand if the pipeline comes in with water into the dams and whatever, it's one step to solving the solution, to solving the problem that we're having today. But then it doesn't change much. There's more that needs to be done because we're talking about 96 villages that need water, that need clean drinking water.
Yeah. So are you saying to me that the waterworks treatment plant is there already, the reservoir is there already, and whatever comes from Nandoni Dam is not going to make a difference to what is pumped into those two areas?
Yes, it's not going to make any difference. Okay, let me put it to you like this. The package plant, if it produces, for example, if it produces 30,000 megaliters a day, The water that's coming from Nandoni, which is raw water, it won't change the production of the day because we're still using the same package plant. Going to details, there's another package plant which they built, I think in 2014, somewhere there, which has collapsed today because it was there to support the old infrastructure into producing more water to us. When Kachi Silvers was here, the scope was clean water will be coming from Nandoni. 330,000 megaliters of reservoirs will be built here in Giyani to receive the clean water from Nandoni to support the water system which is already existing now. So that you can see it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah. Listen to what the minister had to say when he was explaining what is going to happen next as far as those dams are concerned in a conversation earlier on with my colleague. This is Minister Senzo Mchunu, Minister of Water and Sanitation.
We are less than, just to be generous, less than 4 kilometers before water reaches Tsami Dam, which is right in Giyani. And by the way, I must say that our work is now in Giyani itself. We are right in Giyani with water and pressure, but we have not reached Tsami Dam, which our pipe from Nandoni Dam will dish out water to. And then from that dam, water will go to waterworks, and from there to reservoirs, and then from there to the villages. And so we were, in essence, affected by that intervention, which required us to respect the chief, have listened to the concerns, and link up with Vembe district and the said contractor to resolve their problems so that the chief could allow work to progress, and that took us 3 weeks.
So are you saying there will be no additional reservoirs that will be built to ensure that there is more capacity of water availability?
At the present moment, there's none. Because if you can hear the minister, what he's saying is, he's not talking about the amount of water produced by the package plant, the waterworks, as he says. And he's also saying that the water needs to be, they're not far from connecting to the canal, as I understand, because that's where they're going to dispose the water so that it can go to the dam. The question is, if they connected to the dam in Nandoni, because for the water to flow, it means there needs to be a connection to the dam, and so that there can be water coming in. Going deeper into technicalities, is it all the works that needs to be done? Because there's in the pipeline, there's Takawa valves, there's air valves, there's air solutions valve that needs to be built. There's pressure testing of the line that needs to be done before commissioning of the line. So is that done? If so, okay, it's fine. We'll accept that, and then we're happy for it because now there's progress. And now, when the water has been deposited to the dam, is the amount of water which is going to be purified in our plants change? Because that's the problem. Because if today we're suffering, because as I'm telling to you now, in my household today, in section D1 in Giyani, there's no water tonight. And there's been weeks, in section E, there's no water. In a village in Makosha where the dam is next to, there's no water. I'm not talking about the villages which are far from Giyani, about 30 or 50 kilometers away from Giyani. They don't have water. So you understand, there's still a long way go for the people of Giyani to receive this water. But we accept that because at least now dam will have water. By the time they fix whatever they need to fix in the package plant where they need to deposit water, or where they need to purify water and put to reservoirs for people to drink, there will be water waiting. Because remember, the water system which they are having now, Mopani district, I think around last week Wednesday or Thursday, they went to one of our local radio stations and they explained that the plant used to produce about 30,000 megaliters. Now it's producing 14. You can understand now it's half of what they used to produce. And remember, the package plant that we're talking about, it was designed in the old days, whereby the house connections was only in the townships. But now the other villages have also evolved. Now they need house connections. And there's more households now than before. So now you can understand the supply and demand is two different things. But then that's an argument of another what we need the minister to come so we can present to him what we see and what we experience as the people of Giyani and the beneficiary of this pipeline. Because now we're only talking about the one pipeline which is coming from Nandoni to Giyani. But we have not yet sit down and talked about the pipeline which is going around the villages, the pipeline which Katusevils left it. And the same pipeline that I'm talking about Katusevils, it was only including 55 villages. What about the rest of the villages? So that's why we need the minister to come down so we can have a dialogue with him to show him the understanding of our people, what our people need and what they expect from the government. And I understand the minister has been in office for almost a year. I've seen him on site, I've seen him hands-on. But you must understand also the frustration from our people. Because the frustration of people, they've been patiently waiting for almost 14 years.
Yeah.
And the issue of Chief Ramuva, I understand. But then this thing could have been resolved way back in 2010, 2011, 2013. We cannot dial much on it today. Because
what's the best way of resolving that? Because the minister is saying that is a legal matter now that would need to be legally resolved.
So do you understand if that's a legal matter, we're still not gonna have water. Because that's our leadership which they need to deal with. Understand now that it's beyond us as the community. And it's only the responsibility of our government, which is the local municipality, the district municipality, the ministry, the DWS, Lepela, to sit down with the chief and reach an agreement, whatever that needs to be done. Remember, and you must barely understand, water is a problem. It's very painful to see an elderly person pushing a wheelbarrow for kilometers just for water.
All right.
And you find that there are people who are trying to do what our government is supposed to do. They sell water with buckets or trucks.
Yeah.
But then it means if you don't have money to buy that clean water for yourself, it means you're not going to survive. Remember, most of the people are not working. And there's this grant, the 350 grant, which we appreciate, and the elderly grant. They use that little money to buy water, which is not supposed to, because water is our human rights.
Right.
And if you take our human rights, then what are you left us with? We can't drink, we can't cook. So it's very frustrating, sir.
Vusi Chauke, much appreciated, and thank you for bringing that clarity for us and that explanation there. That is Vusi Chauke, is the chairperson of the Giyani Concerned Residents.